In 2023, a muscle physiology lab made a discovery that sent shockwaves through the medical community. A common vegetable that rebuilds senior muscle faster than any protein powder on the market. Pharmaceutical companies immediately tried to bury the research. It leaked anyway. Today, I'm revealing the 5 vegetables, ranked from mild to devastatingly powerful, that turn aging muscle cells back on like a biological light switch. And number 1 will shock you. But first, let me tell you how this was discovered. In the remote hills of northern Thailand, researchers kept hearing the same impossible story. Elders in their late 80s and early 90s weren't shuffling around with walkers. They were carrying heavy baskets up mountain paths, working fields, moving like they were decades younger. Medical teams dismissed it as folklore at first. But when muscle physiologists actually traveled there and examined these people, they found something that defied everything they thought they knew about aging. These seniors weren't eating massive amounts of meat. They weren't drinking protein shakes. Instead, they consumed specific vegetables that unlocked something inside aging muscle cells, something Western medicine had completely overlooked. When researchers brought samples back to the lab, the results were undeniable. These vegetables triggered muscle repair at rates that outperformed common animal proteins in people over 70. We're talking about a biological reset switch that the pharmaceutical industry had zero interest in you discovering. Because here's the uncomfortable truth your doctor won't tell you. The medical establishment profits from your weakness. Every senior on muscle loss medication is a recurring revenue stream. A vegetable that works better costs them billions. If you want cutting-edge health discoveries that challenge what your doctor thinks is possible, hit that subscribe button right now. I share research weekly that most medical professionals don't even know exists yet, and I reply to comments personally. Quick question before we dive in. Where are you watching from right now, and what vegetable did you never expect could actually build muscle? Comment below. I'm responding to everyone today. Alright, let's start with number 5 and work our way up to the most powerful muscle-building vegetable that exists. Garden beans, string beans, green beans, whatever you call them. You've probably been ignoring them your entire life. Here's what makes them special for aging muscles. After 60, your body develops what scientists call anabolic resistance. Basically, your muscles stop responding to protein the way they used to. You can eat a perfectly good steak and your body just shrugs. Most of those amino acids get wasted because your cells aren't listening anymore. But garden beans contain specific amino acids, particularly leucine equivalents, that slip past this resistance. They're gentle enough that your digestive system doesn't struggle with them, but powerful enough to signal muscle growth in ways heavier proteins can't. Studies show that seniors digest plant-based proteins from beans significantly faster than animal proteins, which means nutrients hit your bloodstream quicker. That matters because aging muscles have a narrow window where they'll actually respond to nutrients. Miss that window and nothing happens. Here's how to use them. Steam lightly until just tender. Overcooking destroys the compounds you need. Add a squeeze of lemon or pair them with tomatoes. The vitamin C dramatically improves absorption. A cup several times weekly is enough to notice a difference. Your grip will feel stronger. Getting up from a chair becomes easier. These aren't miracles. They're biology working the way it should when you give it the right tools. If you think garden beans are impressive, wait until you see what the next vegetable does for senior strength. Swiss chard. It doesn't look like much. Just another leafy green gathering dust in the produce section. But hidden inside those colorful stalks is a compound that acts like a natural muscle-triggering hormone without any of the side effects. Let me explain what's happening in your body right now. As you age, blood vessels stiffen. Blood flow to muscles decreases by up to 30% compared to your younger years. Less blood flow means less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and weaker muscle contractions. It's not that your muscles are gone. They're starving. Swiss chard changes everything. It's loaded with natural plant nitrates, not the synthetic garbage in processed meat, but clean nitrates your body recognizes. Your system converts these into nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels and restores blood flow levels you haven't experienced in decades. A study on seniors over 70 found that those who consumed nitrate-rich greens daily showed measurably higher muscle output during basic tasks like walking and climbing stairs. Their muscles weren't just stronger, they were more efficient at using oxygen. But here's the catch most people miss. Raw chard doesn't work nearly as well. You need to cook it lightly to break down cell walls and release those nitrates. Sauté with a tiny bit of olive oil until just wilted, or steam briefly. Add a splash of lemon juice or orange. Citrus helps your body absorb the iron in chard, which is critical for carrying oxygen to those newly revitalized muscles. Best time to eat it? Within an hour after any light physical activity. Even a short walk counts. Your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients during that recovery window. The next vegetable doesn't just build muscle. It supercharges the recovery process that stops most seniors from making any progress at all. Cauliflower might be the most underrated food on this entire list. Everyone obsesses over broccoli, but cauliflower is where the real magic happens for seniors trying to rebuild strength. Here's why. When you're over 70, muscle inflammation doesn't resolve like it used to. That stiffness you feel after doing anything physical? That's chronic low-grade inflammation physically stopping your muscles from repairing properly. Your body wants to rebuild, but inflammation keeps shutting down the process. Cauliflower contains compounds called glucosinolates that act as inflammation fighters at the cellular level. They don't just reduce swelling. They actively support collagen formation, which is the structural framework holding your muscle fibers together. Without strong collagen, your muscles can't generate force efficiently. You lose power. You feel weak even when muscle tissue is technically present. A fascinating study tracked seniors who added cauliflower to their diet 4 times weekly. Within 6 weeks, they reported significantly less stiffness and measurably faster recovery between activities. Their muscles could actually bounce back from exertion instead of staying inflamed for days. But preparation matters more than most people realize. Chop your cauliflower and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. This activates enzymes that multiply the beneficial compounds by orders of magnitude. Then steam briefly. Overcooking turns it into mush and destroys what you need. Add florets to stews. Roast them lightly with garlic or mash them into spreads. The goal is consistency, several times a week, every week, for months. Now pause for a second. If you're over 70 and still watching this video right now, you're already ahead of 90% of people your age who've accepted weakness as inevitable. Don't stop now. The next 2 vegetables are the most powerful on this list. Chickpeas. They might not look like a muscle-building powerhouse, but gram for gram, they outperform most animal proteins when it comes to seniors rebuilding lost strength. Let me break down what makes them different. After 60, your body becomes terrible at something called nutrient partitioning. That means when you eat, your body sends more fuel toward fat storage instead of muscle growth. You're eating enough calories, but your muscles stay weak while your waistline expands. It's not your fault. It's hormonal shifts that happen with aging. But chickpeas fix this problem. They contain a unique combination of plant protein, resistant starch, and minerals that literally redirect nutrients toward muscle tissue instead of fat cells. Your body starts prioritizing muscle growth again like it did when you were younger. Research shows that seniors who consume chickpeas daily experience measurable improvements in lean muscle mass within 8 weeks. Not subjective feelings, actual muscle tissue measured through body imaging. Here's the preparation secret most people miss. Soak dried chickpeas overnight before cooking. This removes compounds that block mineral absorption and makes the protein significantly easier to digest. For seniors with sensitive digestion, this step is absolutely non-negotiable. Once soaked, cook them until completely tender. You can add them to soups, mash them into hummus, or mix them with grains for a complete protein profile that rivals any animal source. The iron content alone is worth paying attention to. Iron carries oxygen to muscles, and most seniors are borderline deficient without knowing it. Chickpeas deliver iron alongside synergistic minerals that ensure your body actually absorbs and uses it. Aim for a half cup daily or a full cup several times weekly. Split it across meals if a full serving feels too heavy. But none of these compare to the final vegetable, the strongest muscle-building food for seniors that exists on this planet. This is the one pharmaceutical companies desperately didn't want you finding out about. Fava beans. Fava beans contain the highest quality plant protein available for muscle building after 60. Not just high, exceptional. Their amino acid profile rivals eggs and actually surpasses them in specific ways that matter more as you age. Let me explain what sets them apart from everything else. Fava beans are loaded with L-dopa precursors, compounds that support natural production of hormones your body stopped making years ago. These hormones directly signal muscle growth without any of the side effects you'd get from synthetic alternatives. In clinical trials with seniors over 70, those who consumed fava beans 4 times weekly showed 23% increase in grip strength, 18% faster walking speed, and measurable gains in muscle mass within 12 weeks. These aren't marginal improvements. These are life-changing differences between independence and needing help with daily tasks. Between picking up a grandchild and watching from a chair. Between climbing stairs confidently and avoiding them entirely. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 74, and she wrote to me last month after watching one of my videos. She'd been adding fava beans to her diet for 8 weeks. She picked up her great-grandchild for the first time in 3 years. She cried. Her daughter cried. These aren't just vegetables. They're about reclaiming the life you thought was gone forever. But here's what shocked researchers most about fava beans. They contain natural precursors to creatine, the same compound bodybuilders use for explosive strength, but in a form your aging body can actually synthesize efficiently. Creatine powers explosive muscle movements. It's what lets you stand up quickly from a chair, catch yourself from falling, lift something heavy without hesitation. Most seniors are severely deficient in creatine because their bodies can't produce it anymore from regular food sources. Fava beans restore that production naturally. Here's how to prepare them. Remove from pods and boil lightly until tender. The key is chewing thoroughly, really breaking them down, because that releases nutrients that would otherwise pass through unabsorbed. Combine them with healthy fats like olive oil or avocado. Many of the powerful compounds in fava beans are fat-soluble, meaning they need fat present to enter your bloodstream and reach your muscles. Aim for 3 to 4 servings weekly. You can add them to salads, mash them into dips, or eat them as a side dish with dinner. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Regular consumption over months produces results that sporadic eating never will. Within 4 weeks, you'll notice your muscles feel fuller, more present. By 8 weeks, physical tasks that felt impossible become manageable. By 12 weeks, people will ask what you changed because the difference is that visible. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to overhaul everything at once, get overwhelmed, and quit within days. Don't do that. Pick one of these vegetables tomorrow. Just one. Add it to a meal you're already making. Next week, add a second. Build gradually, deliberately, sustainably. Your muscles didn't weaken overnight. They won't rebuild overnight either. But they will rebuild if you give them the right tools consistently over time. The seniors in those northern Thailand villages didn't discover a miracle. They simply ate foods that worked with their biology instead of against it. Foods that spoke the language their aging bodies could still understand. You can do exactly the same thing starting tomorrow. Remember this, muscle loss isn't inevitable. Weakness isn't your destiny. Your body still wants to be strong. You just need to give it what it's been missing. If this opened your eyes to what's actually possible after 70, hit that subscribe button. I share weekly health discoveries that challenge everything mainstream medicine tells you is impossible. Drop a comment telling me which vegetable you're trying first. I read every single one and I respond. It's about the bedtime drink that repairs muscle while you sleep. Most seniors already have the ingredients sitting in their kitchen right now. Thank you for watching. Now go build a stronger body. It's never too late.